This didn't happen by accident. You intentionally have chosen to be here today.
The BodCon 2024 replay. Everyone has influence. Discover the power of your influence with Leslie D. Tucker and learn how to create and inspire in your unique way. Join Leslie D. Tucker, brand manager and influencer, as she shares insights on how to harness your personal influence to make an impact, whether big or small, and inspire others with confidence.
What is up, everybody? I just want to make sure you guys can hear me. Are we all good to go? Can we hear me? Yes. Okay. My name is Leslie Tucker, like that beautiful intro said, and I'm so excited to be here with you guys. I am the brand strategist with the BodCon and a lifestyle creator. And let me just, toot my own horn or whatever. I have the honor of saying that I helped pick these amazing panelists. Like, Iskra, are you kidding me? You're a queen. Like, Kelly, are you kidding? There's some of these people that I've chat with personally too. Like, I love Faith, and it's just amazing to see there's people in this space that are inspired and want to help our community. So big thumbs up. Also, shout out to our sponsor, Shaperman. I'm wearing their bodysuit right now, period. They're doing amazing giveaways. And then also thank you to the National Eating Disorder Association, who we are taking donations for. I'm so excited that we got to partner with these amazing people. All right, so let's get into it, okay? So if you're here, you're thinking two things. The first thing is you're like, yes, I'm excited. I want to learn how to be an influencer. Or you're like, I literally have no desire to learn how to be an influencer at all. I don't like social media, but this girl's pretty, so I'm going to stick around and hang out because she's cute. And thank you in advance. But what if I told you it's too late, that you are already an influencer? And you're like, girl, what are you talking about, Leslie? Like, I'm not an influencer, I'm an accountant. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like I said, I don't like social media, right? But what if I told you that being an influencer was bigger than social media? Today, I want to touch on what having true influence really means. How can you use influence in your personal life, with your family, or even at work, right? So let's give a little story time. So I love the water. Just like Coach Carey said, I'm obsessed with being in the water. I've been like that since I was a little girl. I don't even know who taught me how to swim. I just jumped in and boom, I was a fish, right? And I remember I lived in North Carolina. We went swimming, all of us as a family, and we were playing Marco Polo or some sort of pool game. And I remember this like it was yesterday. I was standing outside of my pool, and I just saw like a little bug like flying around, and I didn't think anything of it. And I tried to swat it away. And I literally remember doing this, like hitting it toward my face. And I got stung by a wasp. And when I tell you, I was waving my hand, running around the pool. Nobody knew what was happening. Imagine we're playing Marco Polo, and then you just see a girl just freaking out for no reason. You have no idea what's happened. I cannonball into that pool like my life depended upon it. Like, I thought that the water was going to help this sting, right? But I didn't even know what happened myself. So my cousin, she's 2 years older than me, actually witnessed this happen. And to her, it was a horrific event, right? And let me tell you something. My cousin has never been stung by a bee once in her life, okay? Not once in her life, but she's deathly afraid of bees. She has a whole sleeve tattoo. She has both her nose pierced, her lip pierced, all her ears pierced, but she is definitely afraid of getting a bee sting. And let me tell you, I have one tattoo and I'll never do it again. It's the worst pain of my life. And I try to explain to her over and over and over again that a bee sting really doesn't really hurt as much as a tattoo. But because she saw my personal experience, that influenced her to be afraid of bees. So I was not an influencer as a child, and I wasn't even trying to sell the fear of bees. I was just existing, and my reaction to this wasp had a long-lasting impression on my cousin. So your coworkers, your family, your friends, anyone who's around you, whether you subconsciously know it or not, you can have an impact on those around you. Now, when you look in the mirror and you grab your belly in front of someone and say, oh, I need to lose some weight, or, oh, I need to stop eating so much. Oh, I'm so gross. Oh, I need to go on a diet. Your sister, daughter, brother, best friend are also taking in that information. You see, you can be a positive influence or you could be a negative influence just by being yourself. And I'm sorry to be a Debbie Downer so early on. I promise it's gonna get better. It gets really super lame when you talk real like that. But I needed to get your attention. So the goal for today's workshop, it's going to be here to give you these 4 techniques to amplify your impact. Okay. So the 4 things that we're going to go over is 1, how to build relationships or the importance of building a relationship. 2, communicating effectively. 3, being authentic. And 4, how to lead by example. Now, building relationships, you do that to foster a genuine connection with others. Communicating effectively, you can use clear and positive communication to convey messages. 3, being authentic, that means that you can stay true to yourself, and authenticity breeds trust. And lastly, leading by example demonstrates the behaviors you wish to see in others. Okay, so while I have all y'all attention, I'm one of those people that need attention, so I need to make sure you guys are paying attention to me. So I'm gonna ask you guys to do things in the chat, so that way we know that we're here together. And the first thing I would like you guys to put in the chat is what influence means to you, right? What is your personal definition of influence? So while you guys are doing that, I'm gonna tell you what my definition of influence is. Influence is the ability to affect the thoughts, feelings, or behaviors of others. It involves shaping how people perceive situations and make decisions, often through communication, relationships, or persuasion. Positive influence leads to constructive outcomes, while negative influence can result in undesirable behaviors, like my cousin's feasting. Essentially, influence is about creating a change in others, right? So there's 2 ways that you can go about this. And I love this. It says one of the comments say affecting others' behavior, right? And that is like the short to the point definition of what influence is, right? So let's talk a little bit about building relationships, fostering genuine connection with others. Okay, so you cannot influence someone that does not trust you. This is why most influencers are so successful. You know, they show up for their audience consistently and they're vulnerable with their experiences. And we hope that they're being honest. Hope that they're being honest, right? This happens over time, though. Having instant influence is very rare. And you don't have to know someone on a deep level to make an effective impact. And here's an example of making an impact without really knowing people as much. I used to have a job, okay? A job. I still have a job, but it was like one of those regular jobs that I didn't want to be at. It was not my cup of tea. But let me tell you, I did the best that I could at that job. I used to work in health insurance, and we had this thing called a wow call. And because I was in customer service, I took on a lot of phone calls and I did my best customer service work. If the customer wanted to speak to your manager because of the great work that you did, if they thought, they were like, wow, she was a beautiful person, I want to give her a compliment. Let me get your manager. That's called a wow call. One day I came into my office and I had a huge package on my desk, like literally the biggest package ever. And I was like, what is this? This literally had toothpaste, cleaning supplies, house supplies. So the reason why this was is because Colgate was one of our clients at the time, and they own like Fabuloso, like they own more than just the toothpaste. So I see this huge package and I'm like, what is going on? What happened was is that I won the package for the most wow calls. And it's crazy because I didn't even know it was a competition. I was just doing my job. I'm really extra like that. I don't know if you could tell from my energy, but I try to stay positive for the most part. And literally the next week, my neighbor, his name was Dan, he won the most wow calls that following week. And then soon enough, our entire unit was known for wow calls. And this was a consistent thing for months and months and months. It was like, we don't know what's going on with your unit, but they're doing the best with wow calls. And the crazy thing is, like I said, I didn't even know it was a competition, but I was doing the best that I could at my job. And this influenced everyone around me to do the same. They wanted what I had. They wanted the joy of me winning a package, the excitement. And one of the cool things about doing my job, this led me to more opportunities to train others, do special projects. And my manager, because I was doing my job, trusted me. I built a relationship without even knowing I was building a relationship. She saw that without her even asking, that I was doing the best that I could. My manager trusted me and my coworkers trusted me. One of my favorite quotes is from Jim Rohn. It says, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with," right? I know you guys have heard that. But you want to be wary of the people who are around you because this could be positive and negative. Imagine if I would have slacked off and had a bad attitude, none of those opportunities would have even come my way. So that's why it's good to leave with integrity. It doesn't matter what everybody else is doing, it really matters what you're doing. So this leads me into the next spot, which is communicate effectively. Use clear and positive communication to convey your message. Another quote that I found, Sheryl Sandberg: "Communication works for those who work at it," right? So have you ever, like, I don't know if any of you have kids or any of you have family members, brothers, sisters, and you ever asked like a kid, like after spending a lot of money on them, like, "Oh, did you have fun?" And they're like, "It's okay." It's okay. Let me tell you, I took my nephew to the circus and I got his VIP front row tickets, okay? I got him the overpriced toy. We was riding on the horse, the whole thing. And at the end, he was like, it was just okay. Some of you are like my nephew. You can love an experience, a place, a person so much internally, but no one would externally ever know. If you have someone in your life that you see is struggling with their confidence, or I don't know if you have someone who has like their own niche, like maybe they're artists and they're so hard on themselves, and in your mind you're like, oh, they're so amazing, like I don't understand why they can't see what I see. It's probably because no one told them. So in order to build trust, you have to tell that person how you feel about them or their product, right? Especially if they're selling something. If you see a lot of influencers, a lot of the most successful people who are influencers these days are actually saying, "Oh, I actually naturally love this frog." Like they just love it and they're sharing it and they're being honest with how they feel and people can hear that, right? Now, you also will find that communicating when you're sad, hurt, or offended in a positive way would take you further than internalizing it or having those around you wonder what's wrong. That can also get rid of trust. I don't know if you're a ticking time bomb, but there's been times where I'm like, I don't know what's going on with this person, but I'm gonna stay away from them because I can't figure it out. Or if you're one of those people that, tricks your kid, like, hey, did you break this vase in the living room? And you say you're not going to get in trouble, and then what happens? They get in trouble. You have to communicate and say what you mean and mean what you say, and also be open with communicating your positive and negative experiences. Because let me tell you, I went to a barbecue once and this girl made macaroni and cheese in a crock pot, and I said, "Girl, this is the worst macaroni and cheese I ever had, but I love you. We're still friends." But I saved her for future humiliation from that macaroni and cheese, right? So sometimes being honest is the most helpful thing that you can do, especially when it's a negative experience. So the third thing is to be authentic. Stay true to yourself. Authenticity breeds trust. I don't know if you guys are seeing the overarching theme here, but trust is everything. And all these things that we're doing is building trust with the people around you. So when you're being authentic, this can lead to improving relationships, increasing your self-confidence, and having greater fulfillment within your life. So yeah, not the mac and cheese, right? I'm telling you, girl, all right. So so when you're improving relationships, when you are genuine, people are more likely to feel comfortable being themselves around you, leading to more meaningful interactions. When you're increasing your self-confidence, you're embracing your true self, and this can boost your self-esteem. When you align with your actions with your values and beliefs, you feel more empowered and confident in who you are. And lastly, having greater fulfillment. Living authentically shows you to pursue your goals and your passions that truly resonate with you, leading you to a more satisfying and fulfilling life. So being authentic can be hard, okay? I'm not telling you these things like it's the easiest thing. It can be so hard when everyone's telling you that you should not be, especially on social media. You do something that someone doesn't like and they're coming for you, right? But you have to do what you believe, right? The one promise I can make you is that someone somewhere is not going to like you because of their own life experiences. It's not your job to convince anyone to like you. You only have to allow your tribe to find you. Okay. Another quote that I found is that authenticity is a daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we are. So, at the end of the day, being authentic is not something that people can do overnight, especially because a lot of us have been playing a character for majority of our life. Not everyone, but a lot of us. We wake up in the morning and we make our bed because that's what our parents told us to do, right? Or you genuinely love to make your bed, but it's your job to realize and figure out why you do and like the things that you do and like. Okay. So, lastly, is leading by example. Demonstrate the behaviors you wish to see in others. So before I get into this last tip, like I said, I wanted to have you guys interact in the chat with me. And I want you guys to write in there. I want to ask you to share a time where you influence someone positively. And then if we have time at the end, I would love to share it with everyone in here. Um, Another one of my favorite motivational speakers is Mel Robbins, okay? And something that she stated is that you are one decision away from a completely different life. And I won't spend too much time on this specifically because we all know what leading by example means. If anything, we're told this in elementary school over and over again. Don't follow your little friends. I'm not one of your little friends, right? Well, for my family, that's one of those things. Don't be like one of your friends. You want to be your own self, right? And one of the things that I'm going to say is that it's probably one of the scariest steps of all. You can have an amazing idea. We had Sarah Chihuahua on, love her, on one of our panels. And one of the things is that she was the trailblazer for what she was doing. There was nobody else doing what her or Marie Dene was doing at that time, right? And I I hate to break it to you, but your amazing idea, you might have to be the trailblazer for that. And it's scary because that comes with uncertainty. But if you don't, who's going to do it? I remember when I quit to be a content creator. Okay, it wasn't it was dirty. It wasn't a clean cut idea, right? If anything, I didn't think it through. I kind of just quit my job on a whim and I said, okay, I'm going to figure it out. Everybody else is doing it. I can do it. And my family was horrified by me being in bikinis and having bikini hauls and being in a sports bra in public. It was not an easy task, right? But I knew that I was being true to myself, right? I used to say, if people wear sports bra in the gym, why can't I? Like, I'm hot too, literally, physically, and figuratively. Like, I literally am hot. Nobody else has to wear a sweatsuit. Why am I wearing a sweatsuit in the gym, right? And but the other side of it was that people don't wear sports bras or crop tops that look like me. That's just not a thing. But I wanted to. That's what I wanted to do. So I did. Now my Nima, she's my biggest hater of my fashion choices, but she's my biggest supporter either way, right? She, understands and commends me now for being myself, even though she was one of those people who were like, "Don't do that. That's not the right choice. You got back rolls," and I still got those back rolls, right? They're not going anywhere anytime soon. I don't think. Whatever happens at this point. But I'm gonna wear a sports bra if I am 100 pounds lighter, 100 pounds heavier. It's hot, right? But one of the things that happened by being true to myself is now she's like, oh, she's not at the point where she can wear a sports bra in the gym, right? But it inspires her. She's like, I wish I could have your confidence. Like, it means so much to me that you are able to be yourself without fear, right? She my also to see like my mom come out and go to the gym with just a sports bra comfortably, like she's made it very clear, Leslie, if it wasn't for you, I would have never done that in a million years. And to be quite honest, that right there is influence. I mean, like I said, that word has been turned into a job, right? But I just want to commend you. Like, if you are someone in your family that's doing their thing, or maybe you're not where you want to be yet, just remember everyone around you is watching you, and you can either choose to stay in the crowd or you can step out and be the person that makes a difference in your job, your community, or in your family. And it's not going to be an overnight change for sure, but it's something that you could do little by little. So, what I would like you guys to share with me to hold us all accountable in this chat is to write down something specific from these list of tips that I gave you that you can apply today. Is it just maybe telling someone how you feel about them? Like, wow, girl, you're pretty. I'm waiting. You guys can put in. I'll take it. I'll take the comp. I love it, right? Or maybe it's someone that you've seen has struggled with their confidence, whether it's their body, their skin, their color, right? It could be one of those things. When I stopped coloring my hair during the pandemic and transitioned to becoming proudly silver, let me tell you something. I've been wanting to dye my hair silver forever. I actually, when I get box braids, I wear silver hair because I feel my most confident. And isn't that crazy that we're living two different experiences? For you, it was a big change for you to wear your silver hair. And for me, it's a fashion statement. So I hope that gives you some sort of encouragement that, girl, like, you're the trend. Okay. You're the trend. So have no fear with whatever you decide. Give it a year. Everybody's going to have silver hair. And you're going to be like, well, thank goodness I stopped dyeing my hair because everyone else is doing it. Right. So that actually is it for my chat. Everyone has influence. It probably wasn't what you guys were expecting. I think a lot of people think that it's about being an influencer and having a job. But let me tell you, your kids, your family, everyone at your job is watching you, and you can be the one to make a difference in your community. So that is it for me, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end it here unless you have 1 minute if you guys have any questions. But that is it for me. I really appreciate you guys all joining me, and I hope that you got something out of this chat. I love you guys. And oh, yeah, can you guys DM me your favorite speakers? Because the BodCon has to keep going. It has to keep going. All right. I love you guys. Peace.
Subscribe to this channel and also give it a like. And if you want to follow along with us in real time, you can find us at the BodCon on Instagram and TikTok.